Well, Marvel superhero collector boxes are $269.48, even with all the pre-release hype we've been dealing with. This is a resoundingly normal release for what I believe is not going to be a resoundingly normal set. Let's dive into it. If you like content like this, that's analytical about Magic, yet not relentlessly negative about it, while talking about markets, gameplay, and doing box openings, then hey, maybe subscribe. Also, if you have a lot of cardboard you want to sell, check out Card Conduit. One of the best ways to sell your cards on the internet. Use promo code NERDY for 10% off your fees at checkout. And then also check out Manapool, which is apparently the largest growing online sales database for Magic the Gathering cards, a sponsor of this channel. Thanks, Manapool. I appreciate it. Affiliate link below. Use that to purchase your cards after you get all that sweet cash from Card Conduit. I greatly appreciate it. Hey everyone, so this is a big one. I've been really excited to talk about this. If you've been watching the channel, you know I've been excited for Marvel superheroes. I do think this is going to be a unique set. It has full effort, maximum effort put into it. We're going to compare it to Spider-Man. We're going to look at what's happening with Strixhaven, and we're going to discuss what is actually in this set, what kind of products are coming, and most importantly, why I think this is going to stand head and shoulders above Spider-Man, but also will be pulling Spider-Man up by its heels, despite the fact that people really didn't like that set upon release, even though I enjoyed it a little bit myself for what it was. So now, first and foremost, let's start with the price trends. When looking at Marvel superheroes, we do see that these things have been selling okay, $361 in pre-sale because we're basically at MSRP. Don't forget, $450 is what these are going to be at the store when you try and buy them from somebody who's not scalping. Some person here has 24 of them here at the Card Quest, a legitimate store. So we have some real listings here with some real interest, just with a slight markup over MSRP. So this is a great sign for people who want to get into this set. Hopefully there will not be that same fervor until people start opening the set, seeing what kind of value there is. And of course, there is those rumored surge foils that are going to be akin to Final Fantasy, but we're going to discuss that in a little bit. I actually think these are going to be a better proposition than Final Fantasy. I know, a hot take, but just let me cook, stick around, and we're going to talk about it. So first, let's look at what's happening to Strixhaven. So this box has seen a bit of a parabolic cycle going up and down since its release. Tons of interest, 4,600 sold, and plenty listed at around the same price as Marvel superheroes. But don't forget, this MSRP was $350. I covered it before the release there. I think there was a lot of confusion that distributors took advantage of there, where people were used to Universes Beyond release prices. So people were expecting to pay more for this set, and the price naturally rose to $475 for a pretty sought after set with good serialized cards and great power. Strixhaven is looking healthy, and I see a bright future for that set. Spider-Man, directly related to what's happening with Marvel, as this was the first Marvel set with the first Infinity Stone, is not doing much. It's trading sideways. It's parabolic. It's up, it's down, it's up, and it's down. You'll find that in this kind of situation, the collector boxes are the last to adjust to high singles prices. So first and foremost, I want to talk about my philosophy on collecting and why it's relevant here. None of this is financial advice. I would never suggest trying to time the market to make money off speculation here. Time in the market is always better than trying to time the market. However, there are certain anchor cards and anchor dynamics that are guarantees to see bumps in the future. And when I say guarantee, nothing is truly guaranteed. The whole TCG market could go completely sideways and none of this stuff makes sense. But right now, where the market is, look at the kind of stuff that happens. We have the Mind Stone coming out. Frankly, not a really powerful spell. I was hoping this was going to do a lot more. It's indestructible. You tap, you add a white. It's a 1 and a colorless mana rock, and then you can harness the Mind Stone for 5 and tap. It becomes infinity powered. At the beginning of your end step, exile one target non-land permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Not powerful enough for how hard it is to get online, in my opinion, but it is just extra, right? People pay 1 and a white for a colored mana producing artifact all the time, so that's not a crazy proposition. But compared to the Soul Stone, I feel like this should have bounced one thing on every player's board. However, I have been super excited about this treatment specifically because it directly anchors back to Spider-Man. None of these are listed right now, so we can't see the price. Unfortunately, one did sell for $299. I wish I saw that. I would have snagged that up. I am watching very closely. I think anything under $1,000 is a good price for this card if you're willing to wait the long term. So let's take a look at the Soul Stone here, the first of that treatment. I do personally have this card. I sold a blue neon ink chocobo for this card because I thought in my heart of hearts that because this is an Infinity Stone with a repeatable style, it's going to be part of a collect 'em all mentality. And I hoped as they did, there's going to be a card like this for each Marvel set coming out with the Infinity Stones, and we've been proven correct. Now, what has that done to the price? I would call this an anchor product, where future products are going to be directly related to it through its type, Infinity Stone, through its art, clearly the Infinity Gauntlet getting filled out by the relevant stones, and look at the price. We are now seeing all-time highs of this card, $1,700 near mint, and guess what? They are selling. There was a realization in the market around here. $1,400 sort of proved where it was going to go. Back to 12, up to 17. You can see people are still trying to decide, is this worth it? And the new decision is yes, clearly is. 1,700, 1,500, 1,500, 1,500. It is worth it. This is selling. This card is exciting. I like it a lot. I'm not trying to pump it because I never plan on dumping it, because with an anchor product like this, I believe every subsequent Marvel set is going to cause a bump in the Infinity Stones right across the line, whether or not people like this set or not. You got to keep in mind, there are millions of new consumers coming to Magic every year now. I'm guessing hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, whatever. There are lots of people coming to Magic every year, and they were not around for the Spider-Man fiasco. What they're going to see is, oh my goodness, this Soul Stone is listed on TCG at $2,400 because no one really knows how to use the app when you first start. They won't know that the real price is around $1,700 right now, but they're going to look at this and go, how hard can it be to pull when the Spider-Man collector boosters are just $341? So some quick math would indicate I could buy 5 of these boxes at $341 and have a chance to rip that card and pay for everything else that I get along with it. As I say, the collector boxes are always far behind the singles price spikes. And it's not just that Soul Stone that is seeing movement, the regular Soul Stone, look at this, nowhere but up. This is for a non-foil copy near mint Soul Stone. If you want to bring this over to foil, we're looking at $108, $90 lightly played, but only 2 of those left before you're back in to the 3-figure market for a card from a set that was critically panned. Nobody liked it at the time, but again, there is a short memory when player acquisition is so high. Now, why is Marvel Superheroes different? Here's an example right here. Let's move into the Commander decks and why this matters. And I want to be very clear. I'm not trying to pump. I'm not trying to hype. I do not care about what's going to happen with this in terms of the finances, but I do know that people are going to be looking to buy and try and find the right entry point for this. And I don't think we're going to see a real meaningful decline on the price because this is going to be so hyped. These Commander decks on the shelves, whether they be in the collector's edition or the regular edition, are going to draw attention. You're going to get new people playing. Look at that. That Doctor Doom and Loki art right there. Look at Nick Fury looking all badass. Who is not going to want to try this if they've never played Magic? What a great entry point here. And what you're going to see in here are synergies for heroes, villains, and other key creature types and super types that will have implications for cards, again, back in Spider-Man. So, this had the pre-release hype. It's going to go down. I think the base copies, they're going to be plentiful. I do think this is a great intro product, and my gut is that Wizards is going to print the crap out of these. These, on the other hand, I've learned from Modern Horizons 3, from Final Fantasy, are incredibly hard to get your hands on, and most small to mid-size LGSs get 1 or 2 cases of these. So there's very, very few to go around. I've put my hat in the ring for this one right here, my LGS. I've done that before and haven't gotten it even with all my friends. So there's a real chance that I won't be able to get my hands on this one, but this is the one I want. Either way, I think these are going to be just like the Warhammer products. I think that they're going to skyrocket and they're going to be hard to find. And again, a great entry product to get people excited, but I do believe we're going to be seeing incredible new mechanics with new synergies for heroes and villains that will pull up the Spider-Man set. So now let's look at the price trends here. It's settled down, it's gone back to normal. I bet you what we're going to see is it's going to level out at $450 for a hot second, and then as soon as people start opening, we're going to see a big price hike there. Marvel Hero Play Boosters are at $126, again, right around MSRP, which is fine. See, the pre-release hype has settled down. People have gotten into it. Do not worry about FOMOing into these versions of the packs. I do think these are going to be plentiful for a long time to come. All right, here we are, and just as I'm recording, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Thanos, the Mad Titan, has been announced. It was actually a pretty cool announcement video. They painted this on the wall by hand. Thanos, the Mad Titan, legendary creature, eternal villain, just like I mentioned with super types, Death Touch, Lifelink, Power Up. Wooburg and a colorless, you get to put 2+1/+1 counters on Thanos. Choose odd or even. Destroy each other creature with mana value of the chosen quality. Just like that, Thanos snaps. wipes half the board, theoretically, if there's even distribution of those numbers. But either way, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. We have a new villain coming out. It's going to have a flavor win by including the Infinity Stones. And imagine you build this deck out, and then the next Marvel set comes out with the Infinity Gauntlet, which allows you to summon 1 or 2 or who knows how many Infinity Stones. Think of the implications, think of the fun for players, which I do think is going to trickle down into the collector side of things as well. It's easy to get marred down in the negativity of a recent set release and forget about how cool some of this stuff actually is. I'm excited for it. I think it has a bright future, and these kinds of announcements and the excitement that I'm feeling now as a player and a collector really do illustrate my point that long term, I think the Marvel sets are going to be a ubiquitous win, and cards like this with flavor wins for the Infinity Stones are exactly why I feel that way. All right, either way, this was perfectly timed. I wanted to include it in the video. Now let's get back to the video as intended. Let's talk brass tacks here. What do I think is a good price for Marvel superheroes? Well, I do think that anywhere around MSRP, even $100 above MSRP, if you are not looking to immediately offload these on a quick bump in price, and you're willing to stick in the market for a little bit of time, I would say that this is a great value proposition over time, just like a lot of the Spider-Man collectibles are as well, because every new Marvel set is going to have new cool mechanics that will implicate that set, and it will rise as a result. I believe and have believed and have said since the moment the first Infinity Stone was released, the Infinity Stones are going to be a safe bet to purchase because there's going to be continued mechanics and synergies that are going to inspire new purchasers for gameplay mechanics and for collecting. And when you have beautiful art like this Soul Stone here or the Thanos treatment, people are going to want to collect them all. And there could be whales entering into Marvel and Magic the Gathering 3 years from now, when the cycle completes, or whenever it's going to be, 4 years, who can say? Maybe we'll get 2 Marvel sets in 1 year. I don't know how fast they're going to complete this cycle, but when it completes, I can feel it already in myself, so I know others are going to feel it too. There's going to be a desire to complete the Infinity Stone set, which is going to cause this price to rise. Just like the dual lands, I think these are going to be highly sought after to build out mechanics and synergies within your deck. So I don't want to inspire FOMO at all. You can always print this and proxy it and play with it if you like, but if you have more of a collector's mentality and you want to hold on to these for a while, I do think the Infinity Stones are likely going to be a safe bet. Do your own research, but we're going to have, I think, at least 4 more Marvel sets that will each cause a spike in the Infinity Stone saga, just like we're seeing here. It is a very clear, tangible spike that is a little bit after we found out what the Mind Stone was going to do, and I think we're just going to see that continuing as time goes on. So definitely take a look at that if you're in the market. And if the Marvel prices are a little bit too high for you, Marvel Heroes is going to be more expensive than just going into Spider-Man and getting some singles there. So either way, let me know in the comments below. Do you agree that Marvel Superheroes is different than Spider-Man? Where do you think it's going to go upon release? Do you think it's going to balance out or shoot right up to the ceiling? I think this is going to have a quasi-Final Fantasy effect. And to mention the Surge foils, I think these Surge foils are going to do better than the Final Fantasy Surge foils because they'll have similar events in new releases that will implicate their mechanics, get them back to the forefront of people's minds, both collectors and players alike, and we'll see a slew of new purchases upon new announcements that we know are going to come at least annually for other Marvel sets. Either way, I think this is a great one. I think they hit it out of the park. I think they put a lot of effort and a lot of time into this one. There's a lot of good stuff to be said about the comic book treatments here. Bruce Banner has already gotten a lot of attention. Doctor Doom. I mean, look at some of these treatments here. The Mind Stone is absolutely gorgeous. But again, I do think a little bit underpowered. We have the Deep here. I mean, Atuma, Atlantean Warlord. There's all sorts of great stuff within this set. And I do think that the Band-Aid has been ripped off. Fans of Magic have already gotten used to the idea of these kinds of heroes appearing within their MTG sets. And look, you haven't gotten me to leave with TMNT. You haven't gotten me to leave with My Little Pony Secret Layers. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving. And you know what? I hope I pulled the vision inside Marvel Superheroes. But anyway, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, be a part of this channel to see more as we're gonna crack into many boxes of Marvel Superheroes for my friends and for myself, and we'll see how we do. But either way, let me know in the comments below. Do you think I'm right about Marvel Heroes? Is this second of a positive price trajectory after release, or is it going to mirror Spider-Man? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. But either way, now it's time to thank our patrons. First and foremost, a giant thank you to all of our associates, council, and partner level patrons. I really do appreciate it. And then a giant thanks to our senior partners here, Teacher Johnny, Zach W., Dragon's Den Games and Hobbies, Novian L., Kevin C., and Berserkin. We really appreciate it. You guys got yourself that amazing Gaia's Cradle promo. Thanks for being a part, and that's a free gift for being a part of our community. Next, at the $50 tier, we have our equity partners, Toucher of Wood and Tony MTG Prince. You guys are also getting, in addition to that Gaia's Cradle, this sweet Gilded Drake, one of 50, done by the same artist as well. And finally, our Mad Lad named partner, Thomas McKinney. Thank you so much for your support of the channel and for everybody's activity in the Discord and helping to make this community what it is. One that spreads positivity and has fun with Magic, this game we love. All right, everyone, thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. All right, everyone, thanks again for being a part of the channel. I really appreciate it. Check out the Patreon if you want to support positive analytical Magic content like this. It certainly does help. And hop in our Discord if you want to become part of the conversation and meet the awesome crew of folks that we have in there talking about Magic daily, whether it be collecting, strategy, or even non-nerd topics with a fun group of people. We've got it all. We'd love to see you there. All right, as always, I'm the Nerdy Attorney. Be excellent to each other. Play paper Magic with your friends. And until next time, court is adjourned.